Hello, good day. This is our weekly show. Good topic of the week is really not a show, but it's becoming one with so many episodes. Now, this we are now in the middle of January, more even getting closer to the end of January, and Florencio Nocetti will introduce the topic of the week.
Hello, thank you. As everyone knows already, we are exploring Mookie Tenembaum's philosophy through these videos, his disillusionism, his nostalgic theory about human behavior. And what we are going to try to do today is, as every week we do, to analyze from a philosophical point of view part of what's happening around us, part of what's on the news. And this week in particular, we will focus on the already ongoing race, I would say, for vaccination in the development of vaccines against COVID-19, but also in the deployment of different strategies in different countries in order to inoculate the population with these vaccines. And we are going to try and look at this process not from a journalistic, practical, technical point of view, but from a philosophical point of view. What does this all mean in anthropological terms, in psychological terms, even in political terms? What's going on?
Well, we are now in the middle of, or in the beginning of the vaccines war, and this is of course a war in which what we are seeing is companies and especially countries vying for the prestige that vaccines confer them, a prestige that has been lost in most cases during this pandemic due to the nature of the pandemic and how hard was it to deal with it. We have the most recent cases, Pfizer and Israel. Yes, we have Pfizer, who decided to send to Israel a huge amount of vaccines to try to vaccinate the whole population, or at least the whole adult population, in a very short time, and to bring in to show how good is its vaccine. And then you have the state of Israel and its Prime Minister Netanyahu trying to regain the lost prestige during this defeat that almost every country had at the hands of Darwin's army, i.e., the coronavirus. So in this issue, we have the prestige of a company and then the prestige of a country, and we also have the issue of China. China's vaccine Sinovac was deemed to be not very effective, 50% effective in Brazil. The Chinese claim that number was manipulated by the government of Brazil, who supported Trump, and that Trump hates China. It was really a stretch what they tried to do. And then they also claimed that Pfizer's vaccine, that apparently at the time, now we know it didn't happen, but caused the death of 33 older people in Norway, and asking that the Pfizer vaccine will be totally forbidden of use in Europe, while everybody is trying to find a place in the world. And then Russia, where I think there was the Wall Street Journal who claimed that this is the pet project, the Russian vaccine, to bring in Russia's prestige and especially Putin's prestige. So this is a prestige war, and I want to make it clear, this is not a money war. Why do I mean money war? Look at Pfizer. Pfizer, the stock price of Pfizer barely changed during those weeks. In fact, it went down at a certain time, even though it should have gone up. It should have shot to the stars. The reason is they don't make money out of this vaccine. They are making money, but compared to the money that normally they make on other drugs, this is peanuts. Why Pfizer is doing it? Prestige. So the next time they come out with a pill that deals with high blood pressure, that will sell probably in billions. That's how the calculation is made. Of course, the CEO of Pfizer wants it in his record, so when next time he goes to a new job, he will get a huge bump in his salary. So everybody, prestige is the center. But prestige is very important now, because countries have been losing prestige. As I said before, China has a problem with prestige because they say that the virus came out of China, or at least China did not stop it in time. You have the prestige of Russia, who's been badly hit by the huge amount of virus that they have in Russia, the disaster that there is in Russia. And then you have countries like France, who had who now one of the major companies, Sanofi, their vaccine failed the test. It's only 30% effective. And they abandoned it. So the country lost its prestige, and here it's a prestige war. And what do you think about all this, Florence?
I think many things, but one thing I'm thinking, you are describing at least two different levels at which this war is thought, and I want to ask you about that. There is, of course, the level of the prestige and the, I think you would say, the epic involved in illusions themselves, be them multinational companies, be them countries as such. But there is also the prestige, not of the illusion, not of the corporation, but of the individual players in the illusion. The CEO of this company, the prime minister or the president of this country. And maybe these are two parallel races. And I wanted to ask you about the consequences of the loss of prestige and the gain of prestige for the illusion on one side and for the individual players on the other.
Well, we have to divide the players in two groups, I have to say. First, there is I would say the lower group, that is the policemen, the teachers, the nurses, or just the bureaucrats who stamp your passport when you come into their country. All these bureaucrats, all these people who are players of the state, of which without the state probably they will be out of business, or many of them would. Their business is quite safe. What I mean, even if tomorrow a illusion breaks down, their job is assured. The best example is the one that come up to my mind now is during the Second World War. At the end of the Second World War, the policemen who were Nazis and had their Nazi symbol in their lapel, a little thing here, and that was exchanged immediately after the Russian came into one that has the communist symbol insignia. Yes, so it didn't change anything. The policeman had his job assured anyway. Yes, you will always need policemen. You will always need teachers. You will always need nurses, better nurses, worse nurses, but you'll always need them. So their job is not really very much at stake. The problem is the people who are on top. Those people, some of them, or most of them, elected, some others semi-elected, some others not elected at all. All of them are really depending on the prestige to stay in power. You could be outvoted, like it happened to Trump. You could be ousted, like Gorbachev. It happened to Gorbachev at the end of the Soviet Union. And you could be like Ceausescu. You could be executed once this illusion starts breaking down. First of all, your own prestige. So again, I'm not saying that the Minister of Health in Spain will be executed. Yes, I don't want you to understand that way. But the threat to them is complex. It's not just a threat to their job today. It is a threat to the next jobs also. Because if you are an ex-minister, you have a job probably waiting for you in the private sector somehow. Yes. Now, if you are not an ex-minister, but because there is no country anymore, I'm sure that the ex-ministers of the Soviet Union or Yugoslavia are not really, they don't get jobs that easily. So their future is in danger too. The prestige is very important for the survival of them, and even more than that, you are expected to you are a trustee when you are a minister, when you are a secretary of health or of transportation. You are a trustee. What means a trustee? You are giving the job in trust. Once it's finished, you have to give it to somebody else. Yes, it's not your job to take with you. So the prestige is not a small issue for them. It is life or death, especially now when all of them, or almost all of them, were a failure in dealing with the pandemic. It was. Let's be serious. It is a failure. And now they are even more scared because they're the new variants, the variants that may evade the vaccines. I say may. You may get reinfected. Certain studies say that you will. And if it's not going to be this one, it's going to be the next one. It doesn't matter. So they are really scared, and they need a lot of prestige, a lot. And some countries, their prestige is the only thing that's left for them. Argentina is probably a country that has almost the only thing left is prestige. The country has been gutted with so many governments that mishandled or stole or whatever they did, and the illusion is really breaking. The danger is that people will get disillusioned. Remember, this is disillusionism. When you get disillusioned, things change. It's not that these illusions disappear. It says that they disappear, but immediately there is a new one. When the Soviet Union broke down, new countries came in. When Yugoslavia broke down, other countries came in. Even in religions, that happens. So what do you say, Florencio?
I think this is a new level of analysis that is also interesting. The part of the players, I think, is clear already, their stake in this war. But maybe we have to look at this from the point of view of illusions in between them, the relationship between different illusions or corporations. There is, as you said just now, an internal danger, but there is also an external danger. There is the danger that a citizen in a country will lose faith in the country, as members of a certain religion can lose faith in that religion, and that is bad for the religion, that is bad for the country. But there is also the threat from other religions and from other countries. There's a war not only to keep prestige, to keep face before our own subjects, our own followers, but also in the face of other illusions and their followers and their subjects. I think we are maybe looking at two different wars here, aren't we?
Of course, because what we are talking about with all the vaccines are like a parade. Why do you have a military parade? You have a military parade to avoid war, not to make war, to avoid one. So the other one know that you're strong enough, and they will dissuade them. Dissuasion saves lives. I mean, you think about it; it's not just an illusion. I think people probably are alive today because a parade looked very good. Yes, and look at the parades in North Korea are legendary, are amazing, of course. And this is the issue. What you're saying works that way, but I will give you another angle to that, and that's the angle of the disillusion, of us, of each one of the person involved. Because for us to be able to sleepwalk, that means to be able to avoid suffering, because that's what disillusionism is a misalgic theory. We run away from suffering. How do we run away from suffering? We sleepwalk. To sleepwalk, you need to have a very good sidewalk. Yes, it has to be totally. We talked about it. Totally smooth. Illusions are a big part of those sidewalks. So you don't think every day, will the people from garbage will come to take away the garbage? When will I take the bus? Will the bus come? If there is tomorrow a huge flood, will there be somebody taking care of it? You don't do that. You sleepwalk knowing that. The moment you cannot know it, the moment you live in a Somalia kind of country, the moment you live in a Cuba kind of country, those things you have to sleep. You learn to sleepwalk with much less. But that is the danger. The danger is that once the illusion is gone, or once there is a threat, fear. Remember, fear is the biggest and most common suffering of them all. Once I'm scared, I cannot sleepwalk. And if I cannot sleepwalk, I suffer a lot. It's really dangerous. So there is a bias. I will be biased to believe in an illusion. I will believe in it even if it clearly is breaking in front of my eyes. Yes, what we are seeing with the pandemic, and what we see also now with the vaccines, it's very hard to believe that really the illusion is working. The illusion is happening. Yes, it's very hard. So what will happen to the people? The people who are so what they will do, they will try to keep believing it as much as they can. for as long as they can. It's a kind of confirmation bias, yes, that is there, and I try to believe that the illusion is working. I think you know that in religion it happened in the past too, yes, Florencio?
That's this leads me to a different line of questioning, which is, do illusions necessarily fight against each other, or under certain, as we are seeing now, as we are seeing Brazilian politicians attacking the success of the Chinese vaccine, and then players in the Chinese Communist Party saying that Pfizer vaccine is not working in Europe. We are seeing that kind of squabble, that kind of attack right now. But my question, going back to the times of religious as the main illusions in our lives and not national states, are there no circumstances under which illusions would cooperate with each other? We'll try to find solidarity and not attack each other. Might we see that?
Well, we see that in religion. At certain point during the 60s, it was clear that secularism was really a danger for all religions. Secularism and communism, yes, at the time, those were the two focus, the atheists and the secularists. So religions that used to fight each other to death suddenly started cooperating with each other. Inside of the Christian religions, the Catholics, the Orthodox, and the Protestant started seeing each other. There were what is called ecumenism, and then they brought in even the Islam, and they brought in everybody, and even the Jews. Everybody suddenly were, because there was a common interest. It was do or die. Yes, in fact, the scientific advances even dented much more, and they had to adjourn. To adjourn themselves somehow to that new reality. But we see it also, as I said at the beginning, Pfizer and Israel. 1 + 1 became 3. For Pfizer, it's very good because it shows how good is the vaccine. And for Israel, and here, and not only for Israel the state, or Israel the illusion, the players, because there is no state, there is an illusion, of course, but the players, especially Prime Minister Netanyahu, for him to be able to vaccinate the whole country and to come out of this pandemic victorious, that will give him probably the prestigious need so he can survive one time more and one more election. There is one in the 23rd of March. So there is cooperation, but also there is a terrible fight. I mean, China has just we just heard from China that they are withholding a certain vital element for the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine, that they cannot produce it without the Chinese help. We are seeing really a war among them, and I don't foresee yet a full cooperation until they will feel that the water is up to here, like the religions did.
That's an interesting perspective to look upon. I think we shall see it, and maybe in future videos we will be able to discuss how they respond, players and illusions as such, to the ongoing crisis.
Yes. I want to recommend everybody at the end, please, to go to our channel, the Disillusionism channel in YouTube, and watch some of the short videos that will help you with some of the definitions and the concepts that we spoke about in these videos and other videos.
Very well. See you.
If you enjoyed the video, please like it, comment and subscribe.